Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new Ride 6 video. Today we are here trying out the arcade versus pro mode. Now first thing we need to do is show you how to actually find it. This came in MotoGP 25 but has returned for Ride 6. If you go to any of the offline game modes up in the top right corner, see game experience, press X for me with a FlyDigi Xbox style controller, and then you're brought to the game experience menu here, and of course then you just toggle arcade or pro. First off, we're going to do pro. We're going to do a few laps and then we're going to jump to arcade. Now on the MotoGP 25 it was really a big difference between them. You were seconds faster on arcade because it was very much holding your hand. I'm interested to see is it the same on Ride 6. So let's jump in. We're going to do a few laps in pro just to talk about how it handles with the pro and what would we expect when we get to the arcade. So now we're here on the pro setting. We're not going to do many laps here. I'm just going to do a few small, probably a lap or two basically, and just show off a few things that I'll make note of on the pro going to the arcade setting. So the big thing for me is I wonder, does arcade allow you to develop bad habits? Because if you're a new player, you probably think, right, I'll go on arcade. I don't really have the understanding of how bikes go around tracks. I don't know exactly how they brake, what to do on corner entry, exit, all that. What I fear is that you can get away with too much on arcade, which will allow you to develop bad habits. So for example here, you can see I lost the front there. That's probably to a lot of people look like I didn't do much wrong. What happened there was I was sliding the rear in, and as I let the rear brake off, the rear gripped back up, and as the rear gripped up, it pushed the front, lost grip, and then I crashed. I have a feeling on the arcade that will be impossible. Into this next corner here, it's downhill. It's quite a difficult corner because the track goes away from you, so the chance of you locking the front is higher. So in there is going to be very interesting in the arcade setting. Also curbs, I do wonder will curbs just be pretty much null and void, so we can just bounce across every curb, because I'm sure if I just turn in early here, if I can do it. Oh, I've missed it. Unfortunately I got the apex pretty right, but I have a feeling if you on pro just touch a curb, you should probably go down. We'll try and get it there through Joe's corner. If we just bounce across the curb, you can see it upsets the bike, pushes me wide. I took it a bit probably too fast as well, but I still just think arcade is just going to be null and void with the curb. So I'm interested to see how it plays. I haven't tried it yet, as you can probably tell by the fact I'm kind of guessing at what I'm about to experience. But again, in here, if you're a little bit lazy on the rear brake, it's easy. As soon as it comes back in line, you can lose the front. So how you load the front and rear tires on entry and exit of the corner is very important on pro. And I'm really interested to see will that transfer over in arcade, because from what I can tell, I don't think it will. So then, as you can see in the top right corner, we have loaded back in with the arcade setting, and you can see the little yellow text box down there saying the bike setup cannot be modified while the arcade mode is enabled. So that's interesting. I wonder, is it because they've set the bike up in a way that's not very easy to crash, or is it just so people don't get probably maybe overwhelmed by having to try and set up the bike? But here we are, my first lap with arcade. I'm not sure what I'm going to expect there. Props to Milestone for putting this in, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who probably are overwhelmed by a motorbike game because it's so different to what they've played before. Okay, you go. Okay, straight away the braking. Okay, I'll hold judgment. You can adjust. Oh, okay, fair enough. So the braking felt really numb. That's because the ABS is on 4. So essentially, full brake, full brake, full brake, full brake, full brake, full brake. Can I crash? Can I crash? Can I crash? No. So basically, they've put all the assist on, which you'd imagine that's what an arcade setting should do. Now I still have manual gears on stuff, so it's just really holding the bike back because it has anti-wheelie really high, traction control really high, and the brakes, yeah. So I don't think I'll be able to crash this, to be honest, without hitting a wall. It's just all the assists are on. It doesn't. I don't think this will be faster though. I think this is just really assisted, because I remember seeing videos of MotoGP 25. See when you crash in there? No, just absolutely trucks through the corner. This is actually not as bad. I thought coming into this video that I'd be heavily against arcade, but if you're a new player, this just really dumbs down the game for you, makes it a bit easier. This is actually not a bad. This is so far from the first lap I've done. This isn't terrible. It doesn't give you a feeling of where the limit is, which of course you don't really want to be playing with the limit this early. Just everything feels so plush. Oh, can we crash? No. Bike saved it. And here again. Oh, we did lose the front slightly there, so I was using too much rear brake. I did try that. I'll try it again in here. A lot of rear brake. No. The game has some... It doesn't allow the rear to slide. So it's like they've reduced the rear brake pressure or something, because I can't get the bike to slide out. We're doing here a lot of rear brake. No, again. So The bike is very much on rails. Again, across that curb. Didn't lose the front. Yeah, there's just so much assisting going on going into the corner because I'm really trying a lot to crash here. Trying to push the limits and push the boat out with it, but in fairness, this is quite a good feature, so really, because I was thinking that this would be overkill and give you bad habits. It probably will give you bad habits because you'll be able to basically just go full throttle immediately. Now, it does run wide when you do that, but you don't get penalised other than the fact that you just go a little bit wider. Full brake all the way into the corner. So you will feel like Superman because the bike just does not crash. And you'll feel like Mark is in every corner where you can just trail brake in. The front never goes. And I reckon for the newer players, this is definitely worth a go. Just makes the game a lot easier. A lot of the nuances are dulled down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and set a lap time on arcade, then jump back to pro, and then see how much slower arcade is, because it definitely will be slower with all the assists on and the traction control set up and stuff. But getting in here, can we crash? No. You can see it does like a lean assist, because every time the front tucks, the bike doesn't react to it. So there is some sort of, because I'm trying everything to get the bike to brake and throttle as well, doesn't do anything to it. So it's clear that I cannot crash this bike, so that's interesting. So again, probably maybe a bit too extreme, maybe, but let's get a lap done. Let's see what we can get lap time wise, and then compare that to what you can do with none of the assists. So lap time we've done is a 1:47.9. It wasn't valid, but that was from the previous lap. So 47.9 to beat. I feel like at a guess right, I reckon I can do a 44. So I reckon 3 seconds faster, maybe 3.5 seconds faster I'll go. Alright, we're here back now on the pro, and I'm going to have to be careful because I've gotten used to a couple laps in arcade, and I reckon I'm going to crash some brains up now that I don't have all the assists on. So let's see what we can do. I reckon about 3.5 seconds faster I'll be able to go with this, so it'll be very interesting to see if I'm as close as I think I can get. So after that, we are absolutely bang on 4 seconds quicker, and of course I could have improved on both laps, but it's just interesting kind of to see that we went that much quicker with the assist basically turned off. The bike's a lot more lively, it's a lot more on edge, so there's definitely more time in that, but it was definitely feeling like there could be a couple of mistakes in it. It's good to see that the pro setting was actually quicker, because I'd hate to see a game that gives the assist to the player makes it quicker. It should always be the way that if the player can ride without the assist, he or she shall be faster, which thankfully in Ride 6 that's the way it is. But anyway guys, to finish off, would I recommend the arcade setting? For very few people. The people I'd recommend is if you're brand new to a ride game or to a motorbike game in general, and you're really new to the understanding of how a bike turns, how it accelerates and stuff, then it becomes useful because it really takes away a lot of the nuances that you'd understand, that you need to understand to ride a bike fast. So definitely if you're a really new player, if you're after playing a couple of ride games, to be honest I wouldn't, because you can turn a lot of the assists back on in pro, which then gives you a middle ground where you have some assistance but you also have the pro settings. For me the arcade was just again a little bit too easy, and I do think over time definitely will develop bad habits. Even from a couple of laps there, I got way too comfortable with him to brake 100% and back shift at full lean with no issues. So definitely bad habits will be developed on arcade. But nonetheless, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in a future video. So long and fold.